You're listening to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
Stepping up the ring and onto the mic. Open locks, throwing shades on tight. I'll rule the airwaves, I own the night. Crank up the volume, feel the heat. Down, turn up the dial, let me preach. Running this town with a steel cake smile. When the bell rings, I do it with style. I'm the Lord of Saturday night. One hand thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fight. Bow down, cause I'll rule tonight. Taking the mic, bodies said the truth, no fear, no fright. Bow down, cause I rule tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network. I am your host, the owner of RAWF, and the game we all know and love is Wrestler Unstoppable. I am Lord Amadeus. With me, as most times he is the one and only.
¡Hola, muchachos! Yo soy
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only El Vacant. Hola, El Vacant.
Hola, muchachos. ¿Cómo está, mi amigo?
Doing well, and hope everyone here had a good Memorial Day weekend last weekend, and we are 2 weeks removed from Radiversary. All the finals are in, but before we get to that, let's check in with some of our GMs here in RAWF. I'm going to start with the Paragon of Greatness, our Ultimate Gauntlet GM. Paragon, are you there?
I am, and we've got ourselves a very brief Ultimate Gauntlet report. Last time that we checked in, Vex's run had been ended at the hands of DW. DW would go on to a second match with Ken Costa, where she would also be victorious. However, that run would end at 2 victories at the hands of Deez. Deez would only hold on to his position in the Ultimate Gauntlet for that one match, as Deez would be defeated by the unsettled Chris Cage. The unsettled Chris Cage, and this is a really interesting one, is currently in a match with Hotshot Chaz.
All right, that is very interesting. It's always fun how sometimes things work out in the gauntlet. All right, thank you, Paragon. Now I turn to the RFC Radical Fighting Championship GM, the Immortal Griffith. Griffith, are you there?
I am, sir. I am. Well, week 1 is in the bag, and actually week 2 is almost completely in the bag, but I don't want to talk about that until all the matches are completed. So I just want to go over match week 1. In week 1, the standings ended up being in first place, we had Brewer, followed by Chaz, then Blake, then Chosen, then Marquis de Sade, Chris Cage, Enigma, Miss Beauty Fatale, Billy Gunn, Natalia Nitro, Nightwish, Mark Caliber, Carnage, Deez, Hot Cheese, Money Sue, Deez, Crazy Serb, Redneck Avenger, and then Ken Costa. Now, I can tell you already, looking at where things sit right now, things got a little mixed this week. From the outcomes we've already seen, we're going to see some movement in those points already.
All right. Thank you, Griff. Our This Is the Way GM, the lovely Maeve O'Hare. Maeve, are you there?
I'm here, Bossman. So just a couple of quick announcements. We're currently in round 3. None of the matches have completed there yet. But it were brought to my attention that there were a couple of folks who did not necessarily qualify on individual merit to be in the tournament. They got put in because other folks that had gone through had since left the company. But in the interest of fairness, if any of the non-standard winners win, I suppose, I will also be giving out prizes from my own pocket to whoever might have been displaced by them. So we'll see how that turns out.
All right. Thank you, Maeve. And our Arcana class GM, the Extreme Enigma. Enigma,
Yellow.
you had a report?
I do. We are currently looking at one winner from the Arcana Clash's Universe tournaments, being Chris Cage. And for the World Tournament, we have Sai, who's going to be taking on either Griffith or Strangleheart in the finals there. So it'll be some combination of Griffith, Strangleheart, or Sai versus Chris Cage to see who faces Destroyer for the Arcana Clash title, probably on a Superstars.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Enigma. And from Unstoppable Tag Team Report, round 2 is underway. Round 3 will be underway in the next few days. And from the Radical Rumble, we are down to the final 4. It is indeed the final 4. You have Jobu taking on the Immortal Griffith and Sean Hitman Hurd taking on Lady Vex. Those are the final 4 for this Radical Rumble. So good luck to all 4 competitors, and we will see who will end up winning this Rumble. It will be someone new, no 2-time Radical Rumble winner yet, but should be very interesting. All right, then. Might as well give everybody an update on the Xanther the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament. We are down to the final 4 in the Xanther the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament. We have Jobu taking on the Paragon of Greatness. The Paragon of Greatness eliminating Sassy Applebee's, so no three straight wins of the Xanther tournament for Sassy Applebee's, that she made the quarterfinals, so congratulations to her there. Jobu ousted Big Papa. Undertaker defeated Chris Cage, and STB defeated Sean Hitman Hurd. So it will be Undertaker versus Simply the Best, and the Paragon of Greatness versus Jobu in the semifinals here of the Xanther. And of course, Sean Hitman Hurd, Chris Cage, Sassy Applebee's, and Big Papa all will receive 5 million coins. 250 wrestler bucks will be their winnings from this tournament. But it is, we're getting there. It's almost should be done, I would say, here and by the end of the month, I would think. But congratulations to your final 4: Jobu, Paragon of Greatness, Undertaker, and Simply the Best. All right. With all of that being said, it is now time, L Vacant, to take a look at what all went down at Radiversary.
Oh, yes, let's.
Oh. All right, Radiversary, ladies and gentlemen. It was a happening, no doubt about it. So, Kenta defeated Des Bryan to finish their best of 5 in that strap match. Kenta winning the best of 5 3-2. Congratulations to Kenta. It was a huge win for him over Des Bryan. Nightcrawler, Ken Costa defeated Johnny Mayhem in their Texas Death Match. Wildfire defeated Allie Knight in their I forget now what the name of that match was, but it was like the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy defeated the Wicked Witch of the West.
I thought it was like the beginning of the end or something like that.
Something like that. Yes, it had something to do with the end. You're absolutely right. The boxing match between Soul Reaper and the Paragon of Greatness was thrown out due to interference from one El Voltaire Eva. Afterwards, Soul Reaper attacked the Paragon of Greatness with a chair. I'm sure we'll hear more about that later in the program. Hobo Ezekiel victorious over Mark Caliber in their Buried Alive match. Aaron McFadden defeated the Mancunian Maniac to retain the Champions Choice Championship. Chris Cage retained his Hatfield and McCoy Championship against the Paragon of Greatness. We have a new Anything Goes champion as Redneck Avenger defeated Blake Bradley to become the new Anything Goes champion. Sassy Applebee's is your new Powerball champion, defeating NC in his final title match in his RAWF career. We also have new tag team champions as Crown Control, Joe Boo and the Extreme Enigma defeated the Cage Shakers, Papa Shaker and Chris Cage, to become the new tag team champions.
For record, at this point, I'm 0-3 on title match picks.
Multimedia Championship. Enigma retained Doc Kent. Seabell retained the Triple Crown Championship against Dees and Ken Costa. The Immortal Griffith defeated Cara DeVille to retain the Fubar C Championship. We do have a new Midnight Hobo champion as Billy Gunn defeated Destroyer to become the new Midnight Hobo champion. I believe we both got that one wrong.
We did.
And from this point on, all the champions retained. Seabell still your estrogen champion after defeating Tigress. DVT was unable to wrest either the men's or national titles off of either Blake Bradley or STB respectively. DW retained the Platinum Dragon Championship against Killin' Neptune, who was unable to add to his record amount of times of holding that title. And the Paragon of Greatness defeated Eva to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. So before we get into all that, I do want to remind everybody listening that the After Hours title will be on the line later in this program. Hotshot Chaz is here. He will defend that After Hours championship later in the program. But now back to Radiversary results. What shocked you more? The Billy Gunn win over Destroyer, DW's retaining of the Platinum Dragon Championship, or the tag team titles changing hands?
I mean, of which ones? Give me the option. Tag team,
Midnight Hobo, Platinum Dragon.
Honestly, Platinum Dragon, and I gotta say, I had said once before, back, if you remember, this is a while ago when DW was on a run, I would pick against DW all the time, and she would get kind of mad about it, and she kept proving me wrong. And she was the first person I ever made the rule that said, you know what, every time I pick against her, she proves me wrong and she wins, so I'm not going to pick against her anymore. And I didn't for a really long time. And I picked against her, and she proved me wrong. So I'm going back. I'm not picking against DW ever again.
All right. Well, yeah. She surprised us. I have to admit. I really thought Killer Neptune would add to his amount of times of holding the title at Radiversary.
And to be clear, and I think I said this when I was thinking, the reason I picked against her on this one wasn't because of her; it was because of him. I just felt like history was kind of writing itself in front of us. I was like, oh, this, like, Kismet just says this is what should happen, and she looked at that and said, yeah, screw that, kiss my dog. I'm keeping my belt.
All right. And DVT, as we said, did not have a good night, was unable to wrest either of these titles he had opportunities at from Blake Bradley and STB, the men's and national. Seabell had retained both the Estrogen and Triple Crown championships, so she had a pretty good night. And Paragon, he retained the World Heavyweight Championship, so you can't say he had a bad night, but he was unable to wrest that Hatfield and McCoy Championship from Chris Cage.
I will say, actually, one of the matches you didn't mention in the list, but it's actually one of the, in my opinion, one of the biggest upsets is Blake losing a title.
Oh, to RA, the Anything Goes Championship.
I did not see that coming. I thought for sure Blake was retaining that, and RA dug deep and proved us wrong.
RA does that. I mean,
he does.
When it's something like Anything Goes or a bar brawl, RA is always all in. If you remember, it's so that one doesn't shock me as much as say
that horse lives in his barn.
That one doesn't shock me near as much as say Billy Gunn defeating Destroyer for the Midnight Hobo Championship.
Also true.
So
a night of surprises.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, now that we know all the results from Radiversary. It is now time for you, sir, to read off the final top 25 rankings for this period.
Oh, that's me. Okay. All right. Like you said, this is the finals, and later tonight we'll be talking about contendership matches based on this list. So pay attention. All right. In 25th place, we have our still Platinum Dragon champion, the Diesel Warrior. In 24th place, we have Miss Beautifatale. In 23rd place, we have Ken Costa. In 22nd place, we have Lady Vex. In 21st place, we have Destroyer. In 20th place, we have. Oh, hi, Maeve. How you doing? I see you out there. We'll probably talk later. My knee's all ready for you, but you're in 20th. All right. In 19th place, we have Sisulu. Every time I did studio, every time I can't. I know the song immediately jumps in my head. All right. Well, look at that. The Doctor is in. That's right. Dr. Kent is in 18th place. Our current Hatfield and McCoy champion, the unsettled Christopher Cage, settles in at 17th. In 16th place, we have Honey Thunder Apples. That somehow sounds dirty. I don't even know why. It just does. All right. In 15th place, we have one half of our new tag team champions, Joe Boo. In 14th place, we have our estrogen and still Triple Crown champion, Cybele. In 13th place, we have our multimedia champion and the other half of our new tag team champions, the Extreme Enigma. In 12th place, a man we hadn't seen for a while, but he's apparently back and means it because it's Kenta. In 11th place, a man who, I don't know, somehow covered himself in his own oil and slipped back in through the doors, the Teflon Sheik. Which brings us to the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the top 10 for this month, or this season, whatever you want to call it. In 10th place, we have DVT. In 9th place, we have Cara DeVille. In 8th place, we have Wildfire. In 7th place, we have Eva. In 6th place, we have the Marquis de Sade. And then here we go. In 5th place, we have our current After Hours champion, Ha-Cha-Chaz. In 4th place, we have our current world champion, the Paragon of Greatness. In 3rd place, we have our current national champion, Simply the Best. That leaves us with the top 2. And in 2nd place, we have our current men's champion, Blake Bradley. Which leaves us in 1st place, a man who's just not going away no matter how many times he gets beaten down, Killer Neptune.
All right, so congratulations, and let's talk about these top 25 rankings for a minute because it was a very interesting period, I have to say. So what we had, first of all, we had the first time anyone's ever gone undefeated and not make the top 15. Someone went 12-0 and did not make the top 15. Why? Because they didn't say a single word in their matches or in any scenes whatsoever. So you could basically they won their matches, but they were very, very quiet.
There are 2 people on the list that I would bet money it was one of them.
Who's that?
Either Dr. Kent or Sisulu.
You are absolutely right. It's one of those. It is one of those. But I also want to point out that the first and second place were 1 point difference. In other words, Killa is won by 1 point. Blake Bradley was 1 point off from the number 1 spot, but it doesn't really matter. They finished 1 and 2.
They get the same thing.
They get the exact same thing. How close was STB? STB, you were a mere 11 points off of them. So, and yeah, you won. STB won undefeated. He was one of 2 people who went undefeated. Unfortunately, Blake and Killa talked just enough more than he did to keep STB at bay. And I know that's got to suck, but it is what it is. But yes, congrats, STB. You were only a few points away. Uh, what else? Oh yeah, a record. We had a record amount of promo bonus points, and the interaction and the scenes was incredible. This rankings period, and I know a lot of that probably had to do with the Hall of Fame, but it was incredible to see a lot of the participation we got, uh, including from. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look here. Who, if the top 10 was based purely on promo bonus points, well, the people. I can tell you, Wildfire benefited from it greatly because her record wasn't the win loss record wasn't the greatest, but her storyline with Allie and the way she held on to that storyline and basically sold it, got her up at where she currently was. Where did she finish? Oh, vacant.
Oh God, I have to pull the list back up. Give me a second. Wildfire was where the hell was Wild? Eighth.
Eighth. Yeah. So yes, that's what got Wildfire up to number 8. Not a great win, not the best win-loss record, but a whole lot of trash talk and a whole lot of keeping with their storyline. So kudos to Wildfire. That's what can happen in RAWF. You could go undefeated, but no talkie, and you don't make the top 10, or you can talk your ass off. So at any rate, all right. Moving on. Let's talk about contendership matches tomorrow on Superstars. Here is what we've got. We have for the Superstars Championship. By the way, Spectacular 2 weeks ago defeated the Cougar to become the new Superstars champion. He went on to defend successfully last week against Hotshot Chaz. So right now he'll be on defense number 2. He will defend that against a former Superstars champion in Destroyer. Also, multimedia contendership match. It'll be Sisalu against the lovely Maeve O'Hare. 2 Triple Crown championship matches, contender matches, excuse me. It will be Joe Boo taking on Dr. Kent in the Battle of the People Who Like to Wear Crowns. And the other Triple Crown match, Honey Thunder Apples against the unsettled Chris Cage. Fubar City contendership match. It'll be the Teflon Sheik taking on Kenta. Cara Deville will be taking on DVT in a Midnight Hobo contendership match. National contendership match. It'll be Eva versus Wildfire. Shot at the Platinum Dragon Championship. Chaz getting another opportunity at this. At the Platinum Dragon Championship, he has to get past Marquis Desaad tomorrow if he wants to go on and face DW for the Platinum Dragon Championship. And then, of course, for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, it will be Killa Neptune and Blake Bradley squaring off for the opportunity to face the Paragon of Greatness at Philadelphia Freedom. So let's take a look at some of these matches we got going on live from Detroit tomorrow. And where do we start? Let's talk about that World Heavyweight Contendership match. Killa Neptune going for the second opportunity. His third World Contender match in a row, I believe. Might even be his fourth at this point. But his third opportunity. And Killa Neptune, Blake Bradley, right now, probably the 2 of the strongest individuals as far as rankings go over this year. Blake would be a possibility to get his second opportunity ever at the World Heavyweight Championship. What are your thoughts here, El Vacant?
I don't know. I got to tell you, I've been a big backer of Killa of late, but I think with him not getting his Platinum Dragon Championship back, and Blake, really been hammering at everything, trying to prove a point. I think he's hungrier, and I think if I have to put my money down on someone, I'm putting it on Blake this time.
You think Blake?
I do.
All right. All right. Well, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I think right now, I think Blake right now is the favorite. No offense to Killer. I think Killer right now is kind of in a. I mean, he's still obviously the number one as far as the rankings go, but big time matches have not been his thing as of late. Can he dig himself out of that? We find out tomorrow. Then, of course, Platinum Dragon, Hotshot Chaz taking on Marquis de Sade. This is the first time Marquis de Sade has ever gotten an opportunity to get a title even close to this, remotely to this high. So what are your thoughts here? I give Chaz the obvious advantage here, but I don't want to jinx him because he's kind of been well. He how do you say it? He hasn't been a very happy camper.
No, no. And you'd think the guy just got a goddamn ring that's worth more than some people make a year. You'd think that would, maybe cheer him up a little.
You would think so, and I mean an opportunity. I think this is his best opportunity at the Platinum Dragon at a title that he's had. So we will see. Marquis de Sade had a great had his best ever rankings period. So we shall see what happens. Is it going to be Hotshot Chaz challenging DW, or will it be Marquis de Sade? We find out tomorrow. The national title contendership match is going to be an interesting one. Uh, Eva and Wildfire battling it out to see who will face STB. What are your thoughts on that?
Even Wildfire, I, especially with what you just said about her being in 8th place, is more because of her mic skills than her ring skills. And Eva had just gotten herself into a match for the world title. I gotta go with Eva, I think.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I love Waldy, and she did some fabulous work this past rankings period, as I mentioned earlier. But I think maybe Eva is probably has the most momentum right now, even though she comes off a loss at Radiversary. It was a loss in the biggest match on the card. At any rate, then we have Midnight Hobo Contendership. It is DVT and who did I say? It's on the tip of my tongue. Cara Deville. Cara Deville. Cara Deville and DVT for a shot at the Midnight Hobo Championship, currently held by Billy Gunn. Who do you favor here?
Even though she didn't win the match, I would say she impressed the hell out of me in her match with Griffith. And if she fights in this match the way she fought in that match, she's taken that easily.
All right.
Did you not think I was going to go that way? You got real quiet.
Just sorry, I was reading something. Yes, I agree with you, and I think I mean they both done well. They both joined the RAWF at the same time, and they both had very huge success as far as rankings go. So this one will be pretty interesting. We'll see how it goes. Then for Fubar City, it will be Kenta versus the Teflon Sheik. Kenta, of course, returning to RAWF and in his first rankings period, really showed up. Teflon Sheik, of course, is also back, and we know how that looks. So, who do you think walks away with an opportunity at the Fubar City Championship?
I think it's Kenta all day long. He's come back really strong, clearly very hungry. And Sheik has a history of when the light gets brighter, he wilts. So.
You think so? You think Kenta? I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with that. But then again, I've bet against the Sheik. I wouldn't have bet that the Sheik would have gotten back in RAWF, let alone been in a contenders match at any time soon. So who knows?
You're the boss, right? You know that, right?
It's complicated.
You know you can fire anyone you want.
Actually, no, I can't. But that's another story.
Good. Right now, okay. That's true. There are some difficulties right now.
there are some difficulties right now. Otherwise, at any rate,
I see what you
uh,
did there.
huh. At any rate, so two Triple Crown content. We got Joe Boo taking on Dr. Kent in the Battle of the Crowns. You got the Good King and the Good Doctor. Who wins this one?
Pure in-ring ability. I got to go with Kent on this one.
Hmm.
Jobu's no slouch, but you know
I'm,
he got to his place in these rankings partly by running his mouth. And as I said earlier, I am pretty sure that one of the people, that the likelihood of, it's 50-50 whether it was Dr. Kent who went undefeated and just didn't speak.
I'm not counting Joe Boo out of this. I think Joe Boo has an excellent opportunity. Uh, I'm leaning towards Joe Boo, but we shall see. Honey Thunder Apples against Chris Cage. On paper, that looks like a mismatch to me, but Honey has been very feisty, to say the least, since making her debut in RAWF. What are your thoughts on Honey Thunder Apples and Chris Cage?
Again, I agree with you. I think on paper this should be Chris all day long, but Honey's been, she's in the rankings in the same area he is, and she's been surprising people left, right, and center. And frankly, she's better to look at, so I'm going to go with her.
Well, that's always a plus. And if we're going on that criteria, I have a feeling I already know who your pick for the multimedia contendership is.
I mean, maybe.
Do you know who's in the multimedia
I
contendership?
don't remember. No.
It is Sisaloo and Maeve.
Oh well, obviously that's Maeve.
That's what I'm gonna say. Look, the problem is here, as I said, Sisaloo went undefeated. He was 12-0 in rankings matches.
Look, you've confused the shit out of me. Every time I look up at the screen to get a context clue, it's the wrong goddamn match. So.
Well, that's don't look at the screen then. Listen
right,
to
but it's staring me in the face.
But at any rate, you got Sisaloo and Maeve O'Hare. I mean, I would love to see Extreme Enigma and Maeve O'Hare for the Multimedia Championship at Philadelphia Freedom. However, I worry that Sisaloo is right now unbeatable because, as I said, 12-0 in rankings, and I don't think he's lost so far in this new rankings period.
So I had it backwards. All right, well, it was one of them.
Yeah. So we shall see. Should be a good match there. We'll speak with Maeve later in the program about this match with Sisaloo tomorrow. And then, as I said, for the Superstars Championship, Spectacular versus Destroyer. I think I know who you're leaning towards here.
Boobies. I mean, Destroyer. Yes, all day.
Yeah, although I would have put money on Hot Shot Chaz last week to win the Superstars Championship from Spectacular. So we will see. We will see.
We shall see.
All right, so that is your rundown tomorrow for the contender matches, and of course for the undercard matches. Who do we turn to, El Vagant?
Oh, it's my buddy. Bring in my buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Randolph Mortimer Draw to the program. Randolph. Hey, how you doing there? El Vacant, looking good. I love being in Detroit. Let me tell you, Detroit's got some of the best music ever. I love rocking out here in Detroit. How you doing, El Vacant?
I'm doing wonderful. Better now that you're here, my buddy. I am here.
Hey, I gotta know, when did you start charging extra for guacamole down at the taco truck? What was all that about?
Tariffs.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You got me on that one. I can't argue. Wait a minute. The avocados are brought in from out of country?
No, that's the only part of the guacamole that isn't brought in from out of country. Those are from California.
Okay, I got you.
Like
I
the
guess got to
garlic
do.
and the cilantro and there are a lot of things.
Okay, all right. Well, I still think maybe I still think I should get an employee discount. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I'm disagreeing with you, but I know what you're saying.
Well, all right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's undercard for Superstars. Yeah, Chosen versus Alec Remington. Lose on Warrior Queen Falcon versus Hot Cheese. Tad Beaglewolf Dennis to take on Mark Caliber. Allie Knight to take on Black Lilith. Cyril Il Napolitano takes on Dark Warrior. Roger the Pirate to take on Sassy Applebee's. Evan Deadly takes on the Agent of Hate. Strangleheart takes on Miss Beautifatal. Simply the Best takes on Tigress. The Cougar takes on Redneck Avenger. Olivia McGinnis takes on the Minion. Magnificent Michael takes on Angel Bitch. Extreme Enigma to take on Andy Price. The Crippler takes on Devilla. Mystic Maniac takes on Seabell. Joey A takes on Michael Brewer. Kayla the Governess takes on Addiction. Crazy Serb takes on Undertaker. Crazy Mama takes on Soul Reaper. Des Bryant takes on The Moose. Psycho Girl takes on Mancunian Maniac. Boney takes on Natalia Nitro. Sean Hitman Hurd takes on Rick Nelson. Slashy takes on Knox Boogie. The Immortal Griffith takes on Denzel the Giant. Deez takes on Starlight. Diesel Warrior takes on Scythe. Billy Gunn to take on the Razor. Ken Costa takes on Carnage King. Uber Vegan TPO takes on the Paragon of Greatness. Kitty Kabam takes on Lady Vex. Sophia McFadden takes on Big Papa. Aaron McFadden takes on Malice. Papa Shaker takes on the Stormtrooper of Death. And Toxic Megatron Avenger takes on Money Sue. That is your undercard matches for tomorrow here in Detroit. But at any rate, boss man, can I get a raise? I need to start paying tariff taxes. I will take your request into consideration. That means no, don't it? Probably. Oh, well, had to try. Anyways, good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow here in Detroit for RAWF Superstars. This is Randolph Mortimer Draw signing out. All right.
He'd save more money if he didn't eat so much avocado.
Huh?
It's that millennial problem, right? They eat all that avocado toast, they can't save any money.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That joke was just lost on you completely.
At any rate, tomorrow's Superstars comes to you from Little Caesars Arena here in Detroit, Michigan. A big night towards Philadelphia Freedom, ladies and gentlemen, which, of course, as all of you should know if you don't by now, Philadelphia Freedom will be coming to us live from Lincoln Financial Field, as it always does in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on July 6th. It is going to be a happening. It is indeed the oldest pay-per-view, I believe, in RAWF history, if I at least the one we've had. It's been around a long time, and always enjoy Philadelphia Freedom. Some great history is always made at Philadelphia Freedom. And El Vacant, this is the time you break out the Philly cheese tacos, right?
Oh yeah, see. Well, actually, usually it's the Philly cheese empanadas because you want to keep that contained.
I'll take your word for it.
You don't know. You don't remember what an empanada is, do you?
No.
How do I talk this in American? Think Hot Pocket, but deep fried and good.
Okay. Yes. That's okay. Yes. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it very much. All right. So that is Philadelphia Freedom. It will come to us live July 6th. I do love that logo. Don't you?
There's a logo?
you know there is.
I don't know. I just see boobies.
All right. So I have in my hand
Hey, family show.
the decision of the championship committee on who Hotshot Chaz will defend the After Hours Championship against here in just a little bit, and it is Cara DeVille. Hotshot Chaz versus Cara DeVille tonight for the After Hours Championship at the top of the hour, unless Cara turns it down. But I'm assuming, Cara, you are available and will be around to challenge Chaz for the championship. All right. So Cara DeVille will challenge Hotshot Chaz at the top of the hour. So while we await that, we're going to take a quick song break. When we return, we will have that championship match and we'll talk with some of the superstars of RAWF and get their thoughts on their situations. We'll be right back. This is RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
All around the country and coast to coast. People always say, what do you like most? I don't want to brag. I don't want to boast. I always tell them I like toast. Yeah, toast! Yeah, toast! I get up in the morning about 6 a.m. Have a little jelly, have a little jam. Take a piece of bread, put it in the slot. Push down the lever and the wires get hot. I get toast. Yeah, toast! Now, there's no secret to toasting perfection. There's a dial on the side and you make your selection. Push to the dark of the light and then, if it pops too soon, press down again. Make toast! For many years now, I've been a booster for the browning of the bread inside a toaster. If it gets burnt, I just start hollering. Cause don't you know I'm black toast intolerant? Burnt toast! Beep, 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 smoky toast! Oh oui, monsieur, bonjour, coquette. Oh, croissant et Chevy Corvette. Maurice Chevalier, Eiffel Tower. Oh oui, Marie, baguette, bonsoir. French toast! French toast! In Chicago on the Bob and Tom Show. Yeah, toast! Yeah! Toast.
Yes, perfect. Ah, the classics.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on RAWF After Hours. That is a classic. That is something we should never lose. That song.
Yes, correct. It's wonderful. I mean, I do like toast.
Who doesn't like toast?
Anyone with gluten allergies.
Okay, you have a point there. All right, our first guest this evening, tomorrow, has a big contenders match against Sisalu for a shot at the Multimedia Championship. Let's talk to the one and only.
Shadows breathe. There's a name you won't ever speak. Molly Malone, she walked alone. Her footsteps echo cold as stone. They said she cursed the midnight air with a heart too broken to repair. A wrong soul left in the dust. Now they whisper that's what she gets for trust. She was the ghost they couldn't save. A restless heart, a silent grave. Every word was a fleeting dream. Every prayer twisted scream.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first class last Maeve O'Hare now joining us here on After Hours. Good evening, Maeve.
Good evening, boss man. Good evening, vacant.
Oh, hi.
So, congratulations on an opportunity at the Multimedia Championship tomorrow. You have to get past the man named Sisalu. I don't know that too many of us are familiar, but does it worry you that he went undefeated in this last rankings period?
No, why should it? That was last month, and this is this month.
That's true. Very true.
Certainly.
Besides which, I'm personally invested in winning this contendership match now.
Oh, is that right? Do tell.
Well, our current multimedia champion has a habit of running their gob when they shouldn't. So
that's accurate.
I will take a particular pleasure in getting at least one of those belts off of him, if not both.
Oh, of course, referring to his tag team championship intent.
Thank you for explaining the joke, boss man.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. But at any rate, can
Sasulu talk? Like, is it insensitive of me to make jokes about them being mute?
I have no idea because I've never seen it. So it's impossible to tell if he can, if he doesn't.
Because I'd never want to go out and make fun of someone who's afflicted, but I mean, if they're not gonna talk, I can talk enough for both of us.
Yeah, people have tried to make him talk. I guarantee you, people have tried, but no one has succeeded, and so. Yeah,
Out of curiosity, I know this is one of them hypotheticals, and perhaps more Corkro is actually the person I should ask for this because he does all the math. If Sasulu had even baseline talked, how much higher in the rankings would he have been?
Baseline?
Enough to get a handful of points.
Let's see here.
Well, there were 12 matches, so I mean...
Let's put it this way. He was just above you.
Mm-hmm.
If he had said good luck in 5 matches, he'd have moved up a spot. If he'd said good luck in 8 of his matches, he'd have moved up 2 spots. Let's put it that way. I would say he would probably have moved up into the teens had he done the bare minimum.
So that tells me that he either doesn't care about rankings or he ain't very smart.
Now, let's not leave out the other option.
That he's incapable of talking.
Porque los dos.
Ah, that's true. There is always the option of both. Both is good. I don't know sign language myself, Kara, so it's not something I can try. Paper and crayons I could get hold of before tomorrow, though. We'll figure something out. And again, as anyone who's spent more than 5 minutes consecutively with me knows, I am more than capable of talking enough for both of us.
But, I mean, at this point, when it's a contenders match, is talk really necessary when you think about it? I mean,
no.
Winning the match is what's.
But it's a rankings match, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It technically is. So
talking does matter.
Not for who gets the title shot, though.
Not for who gets the title shot, but that goes towards your title shot for next month.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you've got a belt that you're planning on holding on to, then you probably should at the very least say good luck and good match.
Indeed. So, I mean,
besides which, it just seems rude not to,
I mean, yeah. But if you do,
but some folk in this company don't have any home raising, I've noticed.
True enough. So if you do get past Sisalu, and face Enigma for the Multimedia Championship at Philadelphia Freedom, talk to me about this extra motivation.
I mean, as I said, Enigma comes out here and they run their gob and they're talking about all of this stuff that they were planning on doing as multimedia champion, and I ain't seen most of it. And I thought that we were going to be getting like new websites and blog posts and videos every week and all this, and I ain't seen much more out of Enigma since they got that belt than they were doing beforehand. So I feel a little lied to. I'm not gonna beat around the bush.
All right. Very well.
So
we will.
since Enigma promised and didn't deliver, as is the case with many folks that I've met, I would like to go ahead and say that when I have my contendership win and I face Enigma and I take the multimedia title off of them, I will do what Enigma promised and failed to live up to and be incredibly obnoxious as multimedia champion. You're not going to be able to turn on a television without seeing my lovely face.
Oh wow! I think that excites all of us. Doesn't it excite you, doesn't it, Omega?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kara, I don't want to know about what they've been doing with a telegraph or where they even found a telegraph for that matter. Cave paintings I wouldn't mind seeing, depending on what they're of. But to be fair, I suppose I should be more understanding of Enigma's plight, seeing as they're having to carry around their tag partner like they have handles.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, but at any rate, with that being said, Elvik, anything you'd like to ask Maeve?
If Enigma's been doing hieroglyphics, I'd like to request that more Corker translate those for us.
That seems reasonable.
But anyway, do you have any questions for me, Vacant Lot? That you can ask on a family show.
So when we're talking about this multimedia dominations, are we? I mean, how much media are we talking about here? Are we talking like just some Instagram? Or are we talking a little OF? Like what are we talking about here?
I'm talking print media, internet, video, radio, the whole 9 yards.
I am.
Right. Okay.
I want to see
the internet. You know what the internet's for, right, boss?
Wait,
I mean,
yes.
Depending on how good your web sleuthing skills are, you never know what you might find on the internet.
Pardon me, I gotta get my phone.
All right. Well, good luck to you tomorrow, Maeve, against Sisaloo. And
if nothing else, I would like to get them to talk long enough to tell me how to actually pronounce the fucking name, because I've heard it pronounced like 4 different ways just tonight.
It's an actual word.
It's a word?
Yes, it's Nordic. Remember, I speak a lot of languages.
I know you speak a lot of languages, like 19 or some absurd number. See. What does it mean?
So it doesn't translate real well into English, but effectively what it means is that true inner grit and fire inspired by hate and revenge.
Interesting.
Well, no. Maybe that's where to start the conversation. Hey, I know what your name means.
Who do you hate? Perhaps we hate the same person.
There was even a movie called that. It was actually quite good. You should see it.
That I have never heard of this in my life, but
it's about a guy in World War II killing Nazis. It was pretty good.
Well, it sounds like the sort of movie Madal would like. I might have to watch it with him next time I'm home. My dad loves anything to do with World War II and shooting folks. I think it has to do with being of a certain age.
Must be. All right, Maeve, thank you for joining us this evening. Good luck tomorrow against Sisaloo for an opportunity at the Multimedia Championship at Philadelphia Freedom. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Bossman. Good night, Vacant.
Hasta la bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our After Hours Championship match. And I will go and hit, as you see, hitting the button on that match. But first, let me make sure both Kara and Chaz are ready. Kara, Chaz, both weigh in on if you're ready or not in the chat, and I will hit the button. Chaz is ready. Wait on Kara.
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 One of these days, I don't know
Kara.
who he is.
Because it is a 30-minute. The timeout is, of course, 30 minutes. Health multiplier 150, and of course. Ooh. Oh, let me take a 0 off that prize there. Let's see. Anyways.
Whoops.
Come on, Kara. No, Enigma, we don't. But good try. Anyways, while we wait on that, let's talk about Killing Neptune versus Blake Bradley real quick. Elvacant. This is gonna. We'll either get a Paragon Killing Neptune rematch from Immortal, or Paragon versus Blake Bradley match at the main event at Philadelphia Freedom. Who do you think's more motivated? Killing Neptune to get revenge on his brother, to get payback, and to get that World Heavyweight Championship, or Blake Bradley, who wants to bring that to the elevated society?
All right, because I believe in the power of spite, I would say the person who is more motivated is, in fact, Blake.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, take one look at that guy and tell me he's not full of spite.
Oh, he absolutely is. I don't think anyone's got more spite in him than Blake these days, to be sure. And a huge victory.
What is it? Mr. Ego Man out there says all the time: through spite, all things are possible.
Yep, absolutely. All right, still waiting on Kara. We know Chaz is ready. Is Kara ready though? How's the weather? All right, we'll keep an eye on the chat for me. We'll get to it. Chaz right now getting ready to defend the championship, but he's got a huge match tomorrow against Marquis Decide, and it'd be interesting. Decide has never been this high up in the rankings before. This was his best rankings period of his entire RAWF career. An opportunity. Can you see Marquis Decide being the heart and soul of RAWF?
No.
I mean, Chaz, obviously, he can be. You know.
I want to. I will tell you, frankly, the match I want to see is DW versus Chaz. It'll be the Battle of the Blondes. It'll be great.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
And apparently, it's Chaz's density to win that match tomorrow.
I mean, I've heard he's pretty dense.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give Kara a few more minutes. Kara a few more minutes. If she doesn't respond, we may have to go to somebody else. But
I'll step in. It'll be fine.
No.
What? I'm right here.
I know you are, but that was not the committee's choice. The committee does have a backup choice in case Kara cannot, for some reason, show up. At any rate, now let's see, we got Eva versus Wildfire. Yeah, this is a bit awkward. You're not wrong, but Eva versus Wildfire for the national champion, for an opportunity in the national championship. Do either of them have the ability to unseat STB?
I'm sorry. Who are we talking about?
Eva and Wildfire.
And do either of them have the ability to beat who?
STB.
Yes, but it is an uphill battle for both of them.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We've seen Eva beat STB.
This is true. You're right. You're absolutely right. We have seen that. Eva, of course, a two-time national champion. Wildfire, I do not believe has ever held that title. Just for shits and giggles. But all right. If Kara does not answer in 5 minutes, the title shot will have to go to somebody else.
They were here. I saw them.
I know they were here, and there's Kara. Kara, are you ready for the match? I've been waiting to hit the start button on this match.
Maybe they had the potty.
Okay, they're ready. Chaz is ready. We're all ready for this match, ladies and gentlemen. Here it goes. I'm hitting the OK now. The match is underway. And if somebody could post the link in the chat for me, I'd very much appreciate it. Hotshot Chaz versus Cara DeVille, sending it down to Doc Dillinger and El Vacant. Why aren't you already down there?
I'm going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, live from Detroit, it is RAWF After Hours, the championship on the line. Hotshot Chaz defending against Cara DeVille. Cara's ready. Let's do this. Champion comes out, running Cara into the turnbuckle. Knocks her down with the running shoulder block. Slingshot elbow strike. Champion looking good early here. A back body drop to the lovely blonde. A running splash into the corner. Chaz is just bringing it all. DDT just plants Cara DeVille to the mat. The champion looking good here early, El Vacant.
Yes, he is. Look, came like a ball of fire. Maybe that's what we call hot shot things, huh?
It was definitely some hot shot things. He's juking and jiving, but now here comes the challenger.
All right, and she gets back to her feet and immediately hits a hip toss, and then just drops an elbow right into his face. Then just grabs him by the hair and flings him across the mat. That's gonna leave a mark. Oh, she picks him up. She grabs up, gets up to the top turnbuckle, leaps out, and hits a flying leg scissor. She's just like slinging him all over the freaking ring. And as he's getting back to his feet, hits a cutter immediately. Goes for a swinging backbreaker, and she fails on that one, and lands on her own back.
The champion trying to sneak up behind her, but no, for a back rake, but no. Cara was waiting for her, catches her with a back elbow, catches him with the back elbow. Now here the challenger comes again.
With the grabs a standing wrist lock, pulls him over, flips him around, and hits him with her own back rake. I guess turnabout is fair play. She pushes him over the ropes, tangles him in, and then just kicks him square in the gut while he's helpless. Oh God, I know how that feels. It's never good. She grabs him by the arm, pulls him in, hammer lock, and then she just flips him right down to the ground, puts in a figure four leg lock. Oh, look at that. She's trying for all she's worth to get him to tap, but it looks like he's not having it. He manages to escape, and before he could even get to his feet, she flips around and pulls in a Cobra clutch. She is going for all she is worth here. She's trying. Oh, there's a rope break.
Champion getting up, not looking too happy, but now he goes with a running shoulder block. Knocking her down once again. A slingshot elbow strike, perfectly placed right to her temple. And then another back body drop. Goes for a suicide dive, but DeVille gets out of the way.
Then she answers with a flying knee. And then as soon as he gets back up, just shoulder blocks him right down to the mat. Goes over the rope. Slingshots up and over. Elbow strike right down onto his chest. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. And she's waiting. What she do? She's letting him get to his feet. And then, she just picks him up. Stands all right. Back body drop right back to the mat. She is not messing around. She is not letting him get his feet underneath him at all. Then, now she's just helping him up. And, clothesline right back down to the mat. Looks like she's going for the spear. Can she hit it? Chaz sees it coming and moves out of the way.
Then he hits the challenger with a vicious chop block. Into a side headlock. Bounces her face off the turnbuckle. Into a bicycle kick. Then picks her. Oh, look at that. pressing Cara Deville over his head, dropping her to the mat. Oh my goodness, that was a huge move from the champion. And here is he going for the Muscle Buster? The Muscle Buster hits it, goes for the cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The champion, Hotshot Chaz, retains the After Hours title in a pretty dang good match there, El Vacant.
Yeah, not a lot of people need to crash Nebula and get back up, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, that was definitely something incredible. It was an incredible night, incredible match. Congratulations, Hotshot Chaz, still your RAWF After Hours champion. And with that, we'll send it back upstairs to Lord Amadeus. Go ahead, El Vegan. All right, congratulations, Hotshot Chaz, still your RAWF RAWF After Hours champion, not the World Heavyweight, but at any rate. So, with that being said, once El Vacant gets back up here, it's going to be a big night tomorrow in Detroit. Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, will have a Fubar City contendership match against the Teflon Sheik to see who will go on to Philadelphia Freedom and face the Immortal Griffith for the Fubar City Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
He walks in silence, storm in his veins, steel in his eyes, unchained by pain. Scars like metals, carved in flame. They whisper one word, they whisper his name. In every step, a battle cry, born to rise, never die. He strikes like thunder, like flame. In the heat of the fight, he owns the game. He's a dragon in the ring, hear the fire roar. Every hit, every slam shakes the floor. And it's coming like a storm, untamed. No cage can hold what the fire claimed. Warrior soul, fists ignite. He's burning bright in the...
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program Kenta. Kenta, are you there?
Kenta.
Yes, hello. Golden Dragon.
Hello.
I can hear you loud and clear, Lord Amadeus.
Good. Kenta, congratulations. An epic return, I must say, to RAWF. Getting yourself up there into the top 25 in your first period back and getting yourself an opportunity tomorrow in a Fubar City contendership match. And it will be against the Teflon Sheik. So first of all, talk to me about the huge win over Des Bryant at Radiversary, because that's what really propelled you up into the top 25.
Oof. Well, I gotta say, Lord Amadeus, Des Bryant is not a easy man to beat, especially at that night. He was under the influence, if you know what I mean. He was under a lot of ketamine and cocaine.
Oh, wow!
The dude was taking pain like
flying high.
I did not expect him. Yeah.
Okay.
Can Wildy hear me? Can anyone hear me clearly?
See?
Yeah, you're a little quiet, Kenta. You're a little quiet, but we can hear you just fine.
A little quiet, yeah. Sorry, I think it's my headsets. But yeah, anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on. So tomorrow here in Detroit, taking on the Teflon Sheik, a Fubar City street fight for an opportunity at the Immortal Griffiths Fubar City Championship. Talk to me about facing Sheik tomorrow in a match that where anything goes.
I have never been in a Fubar City match before, Lord Amadeus. This is my first time to actually be in one. But
Bro,
as you all see, the Golden Dragon isn't one to back away from a fight. And as you saw in Radiversary, the Golden Dragon can inflict more damage with anything goes.
indeed, indeed. But talk to me about. I mean, you know who the Teflon Sheik is, right?
Yes, we have battled a couple of times in the past, and he's a
Yeah,
very tough opponent. Yeah. And from what I understand, during my absence, he was a former world champion.
that
If I'm
is
mistaken.
correct. That is correct. He is a former world champion. He's. I think he's been Fubar. Has he ever been Fubar C champion? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so.
No, no, I don't think so either. I'm not seeing his name, but yes, he is a former world champion. Even though he only held the title for 56 days, but that's
37
beside.
seconds. I mean,
Well, but he is not a slouch. There's no doubt about it, Kenta. You're going to have your work cut out for you tomorrow. But if you do get past Sheik, then the work really begins because then you go on to Philadelphia Freedom to face the immortal Griffith for the Fubar City Championship. What are your thoughts on potentially going up against one of RAWF's legends for a legendary title at Philadelphia Freedom?
It's a huge opportunity. The Golden Dragon has never beaten Griffith, the Immortal One, in a one-on-one match before. Always a uphill battle, as you say, Lord Amadeus. But as I said before, this is not the same Kenta years ago who took a sabbatical. This is a different breed of Kenta, and he will do anything to win a gold in that match.
well, then Fubar City is the absolute place for that attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. In case you haven't figured it out, Kenta, Fubar City matches and RAWF are hardcore matches. Okay, so there will be no defense, no bot. It'll just be straight on power, straight on using whatever you can to win. You can fight in the streets, you can fight wherever.
I mean,
Uh,
people have parked cars on each other in that match.
mhm. And
DTQ, can I would it be possible if, for some reason, I don't know, a little fireball action would be going on in that match?
if you can produce a fireball, then so be it. I have a feeling it just want to you just might want to make sure it hits because
Does your health insurance cover fireball incidents from
oh good
another
lord,
employee?
my health. You have no idea how the RAWF health insurance covers just about everything at this point. We cover people losing their faces and having them stuffed in jars.
Jesus, I mean, nice.
Yeah, you've missed some things.
You've missed some things.
The Golden Dragon has missed a lot of things, and he's gonna try to catch up on those things.
I mean, some of the things are better off not knowing.
Yeah, like the face of the jar is not something we talk about very often.
You brought it up.
I did. My bad. But at any rate, Kent, anything to say to the Teflon Sheik? I'm sure at some point will listen to this.
Well, I got nothing else to say to the Teflon, a former world heavyweight champion, and from what I understand, he is a very tough opponent. But as I proved to everybody that was watching in my match against Des Bryan, that I can also bring the pain. The Golden Dragon does not fear the Sheik, and I will do anything to win gold in RWF and hopefully the top title. That is it for me, Lord Amadeus.
All right. Well, Kenta, thank you for joining us tonight. Good luck tomorrow against the Teflon Sheik in your Fubar City contendership match. Should be a humdinger. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for having me, Lord Amadeus and uh, El Vicante.
El Vacant.
El Vicante. Yes. Yes. Have a golden day to both of you. Take care.
Well, have a golden day. I like that. All right. That was indeed Kenta, ladies and gentlemen, taking on the Teflon Sheik tomorrow for a shot at the Fubar City Championship. Uh, your thoughts, El Vacant, on what Kenta's attitude? It does seem like he's got the right attitude.
It does. It does. It seems like he's going this for the right thing, and my money's on Kenta
I think everyone's
for
money.
a host of reasons.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk to the reigning multimedia champion.
Oh yes, let's.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Extreme Enigma. Oops. Let's go back.
Song so nice you gotta play it twice, eh?
Apparently. And there we go. All right. Good evening, Enigma.
Hello, LA. Hello, Vacants.
Oh hi.
Before we get started talking about the Multimedia Championship, I also will be remiss. You are one half of the new tag team champions. You and Joe Boo, Crown Control, defeating Cage Shakers at Radiversary. Congratulations. And I mean, we've mentioned that you two have teamed before. Just this was the first time you've teamed in RAWF. Pretty good success, I would say.
Fucking solid, yeah. I mean, it's obligatory. Who thinks that the good King Jobu is gonna come back and go on a tear in his return run? Shout out to all the bets online that I won over at DraftKings, over at Sports Kings, all the people betting against Jobu. Not only do I got gold, not only does he have gold, I have a lot of money in my pocket because y'all doubted us, and look at us as champs.
You're okay. That's good. I'm glad you were confident enough to bet on yourself. Although,
In baseball, that gets you like kicked out of the Hall of Fame forever.
Actually, only until after they're dead.
That's fair. Yeah.
But at any rate. At any rate, you now know that it will be either Maeve O'Hare or Sisulu at Philadelphia Freedom that challenges you for the Multimedia Championship. You heard the words of Maeve O'Hare earlier. What do you have to say on the matter?
I mean, I think I summed it up pretty well on chat because, I can never shut the fuck up. It's my best pastime and quality. Sisulu, good on you. Here's some claps. Here's some horribly bit-crushed claps through my phone speaker in this hotel room I'm currently in. Good for you. You won multiple matches in a row. Thumbs down for not fucking speaking. If you're in that match, I'm gonna rip your vocal cords out through your fucking throat if that's what it takes to get you to speak. Maeve, though, could be a fun match. I love Maeve. It's very fun to annoy her and see how badly she could beat me up. It's fun. I'll still win, but it's fun.
We don't kink shame, but that was close.
You think I'm ashamed of that shit? I love women.
It's more about them beating the shit out of you. That was.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you saying you hope that Maeve wins tomorrow?
God, I fucking hope, I dream, I'm begging, like that one Main Skin song, I'm on my knees and I'm begging that Maeve wins it, so I actually have a proper opponent. I've talked up the wall, out the window, and through a table about making the multimedia title mean something again. And if we have a mute person like Cicely walk into the ring against me, I'm going to be so for real with you. The things I do to Cicely in the middle of that ring will be incomparable to even the Fubar City match that you and I had, LA. It'll be incomparable to whatever Chris Cage did to that reporter last year, which for legal reasons was just Kool-Aid. I'm not looking forward to a Cicely match. What I'm looking forward to is hopefully Maeve winning, because her and I can put on a classic that ends in me pinning her, or maybe making her tap out, maybe knocking her out. Who knows? We can get a little spicy.
Okay. So, in other words, you're hoping that Maeve does pull out the win tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right. I agree. I would look more forward to a match between you and Maeve for the multimedia championship than between you and Cicely. But then again, all Cicely does is win lately. So
Yeah, but I gotta say, I mean, I don't like the concept of a guy who never talks potentially becoming the multimedia champion. Like, what?
Oh, you mean like the Jobber Taker? That shit fucking sucked.
yeah, I have to agree. When you put it that way, Elvake, I would have to agree. Cicely would be the opposite. It would be the anti-multimedia champion when you think about it. Most certainly. So, in that
The
situation,
no media champion.
if that would be the situation, Enigma, where you would have to face Cicely at Philadelphia Freedom, I would hope to God you would retain.
If I don't
Because
retain against Cicely, you can fire me. Not really, for the love of God, because knowing my luck, that's my fate call.
you may have just jinxed yourself. I'm just saying.
Fuck!
I mean, it's been known to happen.
And you wonder why people were slapping you out in the freaking feed because you say stupid shit like that.
It hurts. Listen, I'm fucking pre-flinching every time El Vegan lifts up his hand. I'm fucking waiting for him to smack me next. Jesus.
You haven't said anything stupid to me yet.
I don't know.
That's discount at the taco truck. Okay, well, that fucking stung. Jesus Christ, I gotta go treat this. But before I treat my fucking wound, workplace abuse. Jesus Christ, LA, can I take the microphone from your little blonde hands and do my usual post pay-per-view yap?
Sure, go ahead, go right ahead.
Lovely, lovely. Just gonna take this over here. Cool. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the RAWF roster, fans, etc. Tomorrow we go to Little Caesars Arena, where I've been multiple times in my life. A lot of concerts. I've seen, Sleep Token, Deftones, Blink-182. I get to get in the ring in front of my home state with Andy Price. Okay, yeah, sure, fuck it, that's a match. Let's go, I guess. I'm not worried about that match. I have my mind on the road ahead. I have my focus on something planned well ahead of time, because if you know me, I love planning shit ahead of time almost as much as Soul Reaper loves random bullshit stipulation matches for some reason. But I've been thinking about a very specific individual. I'm talking about Big Purple. Oh, sorry, not the actually talented Big Purple as world champion. No, you keep sitting over there, keep vibing. Here's a Starfield. I'll roll it over to the floor on you. I'm talking about the less impressive, big fucking loser of Simply the Best. Everybody, give him a hand. He won a match, and he won just enough matches to land a contenders match. Good for him. Like always. The same shit over and over again. He's so gosh darn good at winning. It's such an unbelievably inconceivable thing to do. Are you getting the whole sarcasm shtick? Look, he's a worse version of the actual Big Perp. And STB, I hope you're listening. Stevie, I'm calling you out. I'm using my little top 25 call out to call your boring ass out because, I actually recognize that I can call out for a title shot unlike half the fucking top 25 who doesn't. Use your brains, holy shit. Look, calling you out for a match for your little national title, and you got two options. You can sit back and fuck off, jerk yourself off, or elevate each other in the multi-chair cuck and fuck thing that the elevated society has going on. Or you can get up off your lazy boy Dust off your big boy boots and face someone who can actually give you a challenge. Face somebody who has beaten you for titles before. That's me, big boy. Now, which STB is listening? Is it the one who actually made a name for himself, or is it the one that's sitting back and letting Blake take the spotlight while he pushes you out of the way? Huh, big boy? There's your little call out. This is me cracking open a Starfield because the caffeine keeps me running. I'll be waiting for an answer.
All right. So a call out. Because STB may or may not listen to the rest of the show, Enigma, because I know he came to listen to the rankings, and I don't think he's been here since. You might want to let him know that you made the official challenge.
Oh yeah, I'll probably use snail mail or something. Oh god, imagine being a champion and not sticking around for the whole program. Jesus Christ! And he's above me on the company wall. Get a load of this guy.
All right, Enigma. Well, I'm sure you'll be keeping an eye on that contendership match between Maeve and Sisalu tomorrow. I would wish you luck against Andy Price, but knowing Andy Price, I don't think you're going to need it too much.
Might need a Starfield from fucking falling asleep against him, but hey, fuck it.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. Extreme Enigma, ladies and gentlemen, the multimedia champion. Oh, by the way, before you go, let's plug your little show in October that you got going. It's not, and I say little sarcastically because it could be one of the biggest shows of the year.
Oh golly, you want me to do the whole spiel? I guess I'll yap. Ladies and gentlemen, October 26th to 31st, Glory Festival. If you participated in Bound for Glory the past couple years, that's what this is, just without Bound for Glory because the Impact name is dead. Through 5 days, come see companies like RAWF, House of Esoterica, Live American Wrestling, and more to be announced in the coming months. It's going to be a huge fucking event. I always try to make it bigger every single year. And if you don't show up, fuck you.
All right. Precise and to the point as always. All right, Enigma, thank you very much for your time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, and yep, we knew he would be. We knew they would be like this after retaining the championship, Elvake, and so not a shock, but certainly at winning the tag team titles added to it.
Imagine that. Enigma ran in their mouth. Who would have guessed?
Yes. But we will see what happens. I have a feeling they may have an Irish lass in their future at Philadelphia Freedom. We find out. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our Fubar City champion. He is the one and only.
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
He stands alone, a warrior born. Through the ages, through the pain, his name etched in blood, forever torn. The Lion of London, he roars in the night. No mercy, no weakness, no end in sight. The inevitable rise, the tempest unleash. Who shall fall when the Kraken's released? Through fire and blood, his hands are stained. He stands alone, with none to restrain. Unstoppable force, a wrath untamed. No kingdom or god can withstand his name. Griffins are beyond the immortal one. Eternal champion, his war's never done. Hunter of monsters, a faction of one. In a world that's broken, he stands with none. The tempest rages, his head held high. An immortal legend that will never die. Through centuries of violence, his name never fades. He fights through the ages, his will never sways.
I am immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Immortal Griffith. Good evening, Mr. Davian.
Good evening, Lord Amadeus, El Vacant, and all of my adoring RAWF fans.
Wow, you are in a particularly good mood tonight. Any particular reason?
Well, I still have this nice chunk of gold over my shoulder. Uh, I get to watch my tag partner go in a contenders match uh, to go slap around Enigma, which she so desperately should do. Um, I get to watch. I have a contenders match lined up to see who I face, and either way I win because either I get a good fight with someone I haven't actually faced in a very very long time for a title in the RAWF, or I get to fight someone who has never managed to get out of the blocks in the RAWF arena with me. So either way, it's good for me.
All right. I agree. And so, because it is indeed, let's talk about the two participants in said contenders match. It
Oh
is
yes,
going. It will be man we heard from earlier, the Golden Dragon Kenta, or somebody I know you know very very well, have had many fights with,
and
uh,
won them
and
all.
and have won them all. The Teflon Sheik.
Yeah, which would you like to start with?
Let's start with the obvious one, the Teflon Sheik.
Oh well, I mean, like I already said, if he somehow managed to get past Kenta, one, I'll feel really bad for Kenta. But two, at that point, it's look at that yet again. I face the Teflon Sheik in an RAWF pay per view, and yet again he'll either he'll show up and he'll get destroyed, and then he'll whine and whinge about it and come up with 8 million excuses as to why, you know and I come up with some strange conspiracy theory, and it'll be what it is. But at the end of the day, I'll walk out with my title casually and probably not even break a sweat. Um, the simple fact is that Teflon Sheik is not a particularly good in-ring performer. What he is a manipulative slime bag who gets other people to do his dirty work for him, and then tries to capitalize upon it. We saw it with. I mean, how many times have we seen it over the years where he tries to trick someone or force someone into being under his sway, and then takes the credit for everything they do. It's who he is. He is not to be trusted. He is not to be. He is a man to be reviled.
So what you're trying to say is you're going to kick the shit out of him if he beats Kenta.
Like I always do. Yes.
Okay. But you heard from the other man in that match tomorrow. Kenta, the Golden Dragon, has returned to RAWF after several years of being off. But he has done so with a vengeance. He has returned with a vengeance. He has certainly made an impact in his return since his return, and is very confident. It sounds like a totally different Kenta than what we knew in the past. Do you have any concerns if Kenta is indeed the one who wins that match tomorrow?
I mean, I rarely have concerns about losing matches, but I will say this. I mean, I had a little bit of a history with Kenta back in the day, here and in other places, and he was always a tough competitor. And he's and I don't say this about a lot of people in this industry, but he's actually a genuinely nice dude. Like, he's a good guy. He's a tough competitor, but he plays fair. He's in that ring for a reason I can respect, which is he is there to compete. And I like it because that's why I'm there. Right? The whole point of this, say everything you want about me, all the rumors, all of it, but I am here to compete because I am one of the most competitive sons of bitches you will ever meet in your life. And I see that in Kenta, and I like that. And he took time off and he's come back, and he, like you said, he's come back with a fire. The Kenta that I have seen since his return here in RAWF is orders of magnitude better than the man I faced back in the day. And I am genuinely excited to see what he has to offer me. So I think he's going to get past Teflon relatively casually. And then we get, uh, apparently we get the Golden Dragon versus the man with the dragon tattoo.
Indeed. Indeed, we would. Uh, so, what's funny is I don't think I've ever brought this up for Philadelphia Freedoms, but it's kind of like it's kind of almost the anti-Griff pay-per-view. Whereas Immortal is your pay-per-view. This one's kind of the opposite. Wouldn't you agree? Considering what it stands for as the symbol it represents.
I mean, it's blowing out of proportion the fact that we let you Yanks go, but
Mm-hmm.
out of the kindness of our hearts.
But I mean, last year, of course, you did win the world title from Chris Cage at Philadelphia Freedom. So I
I
guess
did. That's actually, I believe if you check the records, I have a pretty good run at Philadelphia Freedom.
yeah, it's not too special. Last year,
that's not my problematic pay-per-view.
No, I didn't say it was your problematic.
No. There's another one. We won't mention it. But there's
Yeah.
another one that I historically do very poorly at.
But at any rate, yes, it's still a few months away. So, I got a quick GM report from the Razor out in the chat. This just in: Powerball open for guessing those lucky numbers. Well, thank you, Razor. I appreciate that. So Powerball is ready to be signed up for, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get in there. Choose your three numbers between 1 and 30. If you hit one number, you get into the Powerball Contendership Tournament. If you, by some chance, hit all three numbers, you immediately receive a Powerball title shot. So, and that would probably happen next Sunday, I'm assuming, because I'm sure he'll close signups by then. But get in there, get your three numbers in, and see what happens. All right. Sorry, Griff. Did not mean to interrupt our interview here. But with that being said, so you are ready for whoever at Philadelphia Freedom.
I'm always ready for whoever.
And yeah, I've been impressed with. Certainly a very impressive first month back from Kenta. And
I'm impressed with what I see, and I genuinely would like that fight because it's something new and different.
But of course, Teflon Sheik also very impressive in his quote unquote return. Yeah, so it is what it is. We will see what happens. Who will you face at Philadelphia Freedom? We find out tomorrow. Who did Randy say you have on the undercard? Anybody?
A giant, loud son of a bitch.
Ah, yes, the return, another returnee, as it would be. And Denzel the Giant has made his return, and you will square off with him one-on-one tomorrow here at Little Caesars Arena. Any thoughts on Denzel?
We actually have a bit of a history here in RAWF, and he's beaten me a time or two. But most of the matches tend to go my way, but it's always a hard fight. And I've been having not the greatest month in the last month or so. So we'll see. But obviously, I'm gonna do my best and see if I can get myself back up in the rankings this next period.
All right. Yeah, it is. I think it's. Were you in the rankings last period either, or did you? Let me see.
No, I believe I've missed two in a row.
I don't think that's ever happened to you. Am I wrong?
It might have when I was taking that basic, taking my effective vacation where I was just phoning everything in.
Right.
But no. I think this is. I've had a rough couple months.
Well, but that's still Fubar City champion. So
now, admittedly, I've part of that's my own fault. I've been a little quiet. Haven't really been cutting a lot of interviews or saying a lot. I'm sure this month I'm not even sure that would have cut it. Last month, I know for a fact if I had actually picked up a mic even once, I probably would have made the top 25. This time, not so sure.
Actually, it's been 3 periods. Wow.
There you go.
All right, but you've won when it counted, and that was retaining that Fubar City championship. You've been champion since when? Let's see.
It's been a bit. I want to say that was my 4th.
You won the title on January 19th on Superstars from Hot Shot Jazz, and have been champion ever since. So, yeah, it's been a good 4 months. You're still a long way off from breaking the record, though. I'm just.
Oh yeah, the record's way out there.
It is 442 days. You're going to have to hold it well into next year.
Yeah.
You would have a prayer of
And
doing
it's not
that.
even me who holds the record.
No, it is indeed Uncle Frank that holds the record for longest Fubar City Championship reign. Dees has 351. Hawkster Bully had it for 210. Unsettled Chris Cage 173. And First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar, had it for 166 days at one point. So, and Maeve, of course, had it for 154 days last year. So, I'm not sure how many days. Well, I'll look it up some other time. But you're putting a good run. You should put it over well over 100 days at this point. So there is that. Anyways, any final thoughts you have about anything, Mr. Davian, that you would like to discuss before we move on to our other callers?
Well, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Oh wow, Kenta, you're right. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, you're good.
For the record, I'm at 133 days.
Ah, well, thank you for the quick calculations. I appreciate that. 133 days. So you're doing pretty good. And by the time Philadelphia Freedom rolls around, that'll add another 30 or 40 days. So yeah, you're going to be a pretty good one. All right. So with that being said, thank you for your time, Immortal One, and we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, his boxing match with the Paragon of Greatness, Eddie Mortal, was thrown out. It was rendered a no contest. So, where does the Celtic Nightmare go from here? Let's find out.
Here we go.
Dark winds blow through the night. Ravens scream an eerie sight. Shadows dance in the moon's pale light. Soul Reaper walks no respite. Cloak of dread he wears so tight. Eyes like fire in the darkest night. Whispers echo, hearts in fright. Soul Reaper's call, no end in sight. Cloak of dread he wears so tight. Eyes like fire in the darkest night. Whispers echo, hearts in fright. Soul Reaper's call, no end in sight. He takes the lost, no remorse.
Ladies and please welcome the Celtic Nightmare Soul Reaper to the program. Good evening, Reaper. So, talk to me about what happened in your boxing match with the Paragon of Greatness. Somebody showed up, and it did not end well.
No, I guess it did not. I didn't. I welcomed it. It got the distraction, but it didn't work out in the favor of either one of us. But Paragon, it was still a good match up until then, despite you being out of your element in a match involving strikes.
But then, after all that chaos cleared up, you took the opportunity to attack Paragon with a chair.
Oh yeah, concerto.
Why are you poking the bear? You should. I would have thought you would have wanted to get out of there. Even if it was a draw, it's still I would have.
My undefeated streak on pay-per-view this year is technically still intact.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, I haven't lost on pay-per-view yet this year.
You were disqualified, were you not?
And no contest, we were both disqualified, so there was no winner, nor was there no loser.
I mean, technically, it's two losers.
So technically, I'm still unbeaten.
I mean, English is not my primary language, boss, but I mean, is he trying to give me the semantic argument that if no one won, therefore no one lost?
I mean, I can't disagree with him on this one.
All
However,
right.
But I did
I'll
want
let it
to
go.
ask Paragon something if he's wants to hear it.
you have the mic. Tell him what
do
you
you
want
say,
to hear.
Paragon?
Tell him what you
1
want to
week
hear.
from tomorrow, we have a rematch so that we do have a clear winner, even though it'll be on Superstars this time. Same rules, same match type. But this time we'll have a clear
So you
winner.
want to? And what happens if Eva shows up again?
I cannot be held responsible for what she does.
That's not what I'm saying. The reason that it was a no contest was because of Eva's interference and the chaos that she caused. What if she comes and does it again?
I am going to plead the fifth on the advice of my attorney.
Put him in a cage.
My wife says to lock her in a shark cage above the ring, but somehow I don't think that will stop Eva.
No, I have a feeling she will feel right at home in a cage and know exactly how to still cause havoc.
And also there's the issue where on Superstars last week I got attacked by somebody from behind while I was being interviewed by Roxy.
Oh, I missed that. Would you like to clue me in?
I don't know. Don't have any definitive proof of who it is, but I do have an idea.
Oh, you have an idea. I personally don't have no clue because it could just be about just about anybody when you think about it.
I'm pretty sure it's a ghost from my past.
Again, that could be pretty much anybody when you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you do have a tendency to just randomly pick somebody like, fuck that guy, and go after them.
I mean, how many enemies have you made here in RAWF since you've been?
Quite a few, because I guess even though he beat me last week,
because you challenge everybody under the sun.
Look at what Ken Costa did last week. Even though he beat me, he still decided to throw a temper tantrum.
Is what it is, but yes. All right, so it looks like Paragon is accepted your challenge, but we will be talking with him in a little
I didn't
bit.
say anything about it being in a cage.
Well,
I did.
Yeah, vacant.
We're not going to do it in
a cage.
That's still not going to stop Eva. You realize she's a vampire, right?
Last I checked, vampires were, they couldn't phase through metal.
I got nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. If you want that rematch of the boxing match next week, we can do that, but not tomorrow. It'll be next week. All right.
Yeah, I just said I don't think anything would keep Eva out of it if she decided to get involved again.
At any rate, Reaper, you get your match next week. I wanted to address something you asked me earlier, how you did in the ring.
Yeah, how bad did I do?
You didn't do bad. That's the thing. You had your best rankings period in a long time.
So my best one since I actually made it into the top 25?
Your best one since then, yes. 7-5 win-loss record. You came in 29th.
Yeah, okay. That's not too bad.
So, yeah, I mean, you still were a ways from the top 25, but not that far. So, yeah, it's your best period in a long time.
Superstars is in Detroit this week.
That is correct. Little Caesars Arena.
I guess I gotta file
and
a flight
who did
plan,
Randy? Who did Randy say you were facing?
Although at the show it'll be Taco.
Oh God! I have to face Vacant?
No, you have Crazy Mama tomorrow.
Oh,
I don't do weekly matches.
Oh no,
I'm a commentator.
I've had run-ins with her, and it doesn't end well for me.
How many? Who do you have run-ins
Well, this was
with that
this.
it does
I
end well?
haven't had. I don't think I've faced her in RAWF yet, but I've been getting my ass kicked by her in USLs.
Oh well, we do not speak of such things on this program.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. I've been getting my ass kicked by her elsewhere.
I was just joking. But at any rate, good luck against Crazy Mama tomorrow, and next week you will get your rematch of that boxing match.
And one more
as
thing,
promised.
Paragon, what I did to you at Radiversary after the match, that wasn't personal. That was just business. If I wanted to hurt you, you wouldn't be here tonight.
It felt. I was gonna say, chair shots are usually typically pretty personal.
I was
I'm
just
just
pissed,
saying.
a little pissed that I didn't get the ending I wanted, but I kept my promise that I was going to knock him out.
Not everyone can get a happy
But
ending.
I still
Soul
kept my
Reaper.
promise.
I know a place. Never.
All right. All right, that is the Celtic Nightmare, the Soul Reaper. And Kenta, you were asking how well you did. You finished, what did we say, 12th? 9-3 win loss. 9-3 win loss record, 178 points. You had it was a very impressive rankings period for you. So,
I mean, that's why you have the contenders match.
yep, and is indeed why. Hey, 12 is still pretty good. You weren't even the last time 2 weeks ago when we read the rankings. I don't even think you were on the top 25. So you definitely made some progress. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least for the evening, unless somebody else calls in a surprise call in, it is time to have a words with our world heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. First of the fallen and last of the old gods. No use fighting because you can't beat those cold odds. Beginning of time and the end of days. Civilizations crumble under his gaze. Alpha and Omega, the wrath of the God King. Paragon of greatness, I'm about to pin you in that ring. Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. Eons ago, before time existed, they lived in the heavens and the rain persisted.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Purple, the P to the O to the G, and your RAWF World Heavyweight Champion. He is the Paragon of Greatness. Good evening, Paragon.
Good evening, Amadeus. I mean, it was a touch and go night. I'll tell you, at Radiversary, there were some ups and there were some downs, but at the end of the day, the big one, the one that counts, I came out on top. I'm still the RAWF World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm thrilled to be here on After Hours.
Well, congratulations on still being the World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Eva. Although she did play a part in that boxing match you had with Soul Reaper. So let's address that first, since we were just talking about it seconds ago with Soul Reaper himself. Your thoughts and your side of the story to what happened at Radiversary.
Look, and we were having a perfectly competitive match. I still don't really understand the motivations of Soul Reaper, why he seems to kind of teeter back and forth between taking this very personally and not personally. But that aside, Eva kind of made a misfire. She thought she would play a little bit of mind games, and she kind of took her shot too early in the night. It certainly paid off. Good for her. I was unsettled. I was set off my game. I performed a maneuver I was not allowed to perform because of her distractions. Things devolved. Match got thrown out. But that kind of screwed her over for later in the night. She'd already played the mind games card. You said Soul Reaper. You want to fight me on the moon, you want to fight me in a yellow submarine, you want to fight me in Fubar City, Mount Olympus. I don't care where you want to fight me. You want to do this match again, I am absolutely on board. You and I both know before Eva got herself involved that Mr. Fighting Background was having his ass handed to him by Big Purple. Same thing's going to happen again, and when we have that match, let you know, buddy, it's not going to be personal.
All right, so that is an official acceptance of the rematch next week on Superstars, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that match will happen next week. But let's talk briefly about the Hatfield McCoy Championship match against Chris Cage at Radiversary. Again, did not go your way.
It certainly didn't, and I'm going to have to put this one on myself. Maybe I was still a little bit set off my game from everything that happened earlier in the night. Certainly mentally and emotionally thrown off balance by Eva, physically, obviously suffering a pretty brutal attack from Soul Reaper after our match, going into this Hatfield McCoy title match pretty early in the night. I wasn't at my best, but there are no excuses. And in fact, maybe I should go into more matches with Chris Cage not at my best, because I genuinely believe in the long series of matches the two of us have had, including multiple matches at Immortal and a main event of said event, this Hatfield and McCoy match may have been our closest and best match we've ever had. Obviously, I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't come away with the victory, but you love to see your bestie win a big one, and I'm sure that I'll see him for that title again sometime soon.
All right. And finally, the victory over Eva to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. So what part did her early interference in your boxing match with Soul Reaper play into this victory that you got over her in the main event?
I'm not going to lie, I was actually nervous going into this event. The one thing that I am most known for is a solid game plan. I like to prepare. I have strategies for days. You can't strategize against somebody like Eva. You just can't. Putting aside the fact that I've never faced her in a match like this, putting aside the otherworldly mind games that she likes to play, the simple fact is there's not a lot to scout from her in this kind of situation. With all of that looked over, you can't put together a strategy against somebody like that, and that would have been a huge boon in her favor had she not fucked around with the Soul Reaper match. But like I said, she kind of shot her shot way too early in the night. Maybe she was hoping that she could intensify the mind games, but what she did was give me focus. She pissed me off and made me sit there and realize I have seen the darkest horrors in this universe, and there's nothing that she can do that could possibly match the things that I have seen, that could match the things that I have done. So what she actually accomplished was digging her own grave. Unfortunately, because, vampire, she's probably going to dig out of that grave. That's kind of what they do. But, maybe I'll see her in the future, maybe I won't. The fact of the matter is, she screwed herself in this match, and I guess thank you, Eva?
All right. So, still World Heavyweight Champion, we now know that you will face one of two men at Philadelphia Freedom. It will be either Blake Effin Bradley, member of the Elevated Society, and possibly right now the. I've never seen him this good, to be honest with you. He's at the top of his game right now. It would be an opportunity for him at Philadelphia Freedom to challenge you for that World Heavyweight Championship, or on the other side, you know who may be coming for you again.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're bang on with that. I think that, with all due respect to Simply the Best, who is also just always right there in that contendership range, undefeated season, somehow not landing in the top 2 was something unprecedented. But I think that says less about Simply the Best and more about Blake Bradley and Killa Neptune. Imagine somebody with the talent and know-how of Simply the Best to go undefeated in a rankings period and still be outscored. Do you know how much those people have to want it? It's unbelievable. I don't know if I have ever, in the whole time I've been in RAWF, keeping in mind this is a man who spent 6 years digging for the RAWF championship before I finally regained it. I don't think I've ever seen 2 people that want it more than right here, right now, Blake Bradley, Killa Neptune. Either way it goes, I think it's going to be an incredible challenge. I think that I've made my opinions about Killa Neptune clear. I don't think that I'm the guy for him to beat. I would love to see Blake Bradley get that opportunity. If for nothing else, I think Blake's earned it at this point. Whether you like him or not, he's earned that shot, and I'd like to shut him down. That being said, I believe, as of today, I'm crossing 154 days as the champion, matching the reign of Uncle Frank. And by the time Philadelphia Freedom rolls around, I will have passed my longest championship reign and moved into the top 5 world championship reigns of all time. It feels like I've done enough as the champion that it really could be anybody's game at this point. I think that, cards on the table, this championship reign has exceeded what most people would have thought that it was going to do, and now it's anybody's game. This is no longer the Paragon can't possibly lose the title after chasing it for so long. This is the Paragon has been the champion for a while. Now somebody has had time to be hungry, to watch Paragon as the champion and become embittered, to become that much more aggressive trying to capture that championship. I think that regardless of who my opponent is at this event, it's somebody that's going to want it so much that I'm going to run into the same problem that I ran into with Eva. They're not going to walk into this pay-per-view with their normal strategies. They're going to bring something special, and there's no way I can prepare for that.
Absolutely. And what if it? I mean, if Killa beats Blake Bradley tomorrow, that means he'll come after you for the second time. And let's be honest, Killa's not going to quit. Killa's going to keep coming. We know this. It's kind of reminds me of how you got the World Heavyweight Championship, coming after Griff time and time and time and time again, until finally beating him. How much will it take? How long before Killa finally gets you if this continues?
If I had my druthers, never. What I'd like to see is, when the day comes that I lose the championship, Killa Neptune beats the next guy. That being said, I know how much it would mean to him to be the guy to take me down. It has to be me in his mind, and you're right. Maybe it runs in the family. That dogged determination, the refusal to give up. It's admirable. I've said this a million times about my brother. I love the man. I genuinely respect him. And in a lot of ways, Killa Neptune is a hero to me. It would emotionally mean a lot to me to see Killa Neptune beat me. But as we've seen multiple times now, I'm not going to lay down for Killa Neptune. There's no circumstance, no scenario in which I'm going to make this easy for him should he get the opportunity. And right now. He just hasn't been able to get over that big purple hill. On the other side, Blake Bradley, I think, has a very similar story. The guy just keeps coming back at you. You cannot keep Blake Bradley down. And if we're being honest, Blake has a much better support system in this whole thing. If Killa were to get the title shot, his main support system is going to be in the match against him. If Blake goes into this match, he's got a group of people that are all ready to work together to strategize. All of them have a personal axe to grind with yours truly. He's got all of the cards in his favor should he make it there, and I think that it's going to make for some very interesting television over the next couple of weeks.
Indeed. So, we await bated breath to see who will challenge you for that World Heavyweight Championship. But in the meantime, you've got the Soul Reaper to deal with. A rematch next week on Superstars. This boxing match. Are you? Is he right? Are you really out of your element in such a match? Were you out of your element at Radiversary?
He's not wrong. This is not my expertise. I would certainly never pretend to be an expert at boxing. But I think that a lot of people discount, and I've never understood that. They discount my ability to fight. I'm a world-class amateur wrestler. I'm a grappler. That's what I do in the ring. I think that a lot of people realize that I've got this squeaky clean persona that makes people think that maybe I can't get my hands dirty. But every time we see me do something like the White Lightning Division or RFC, we see that I am able to excel in situations that people, for whatever reason, continue to discount me in despite mounting evidence. Soul Reaper, this is his expertise. This is where he came from. This is what he did before he was a wrestler. He certainly is more experienced in the field, but experience only goes so far when there's a fist crashing into your face.
Fair enough. El Vacant, anything you'd like to ask our world champion?
I mean, you cover a lot. You never really leave me a lot of openings because you cover all your bases when you come in. It's almost like you don't want me to ask questions.
Well, I just respect your traditions. Want you to be able to have a siesta during the show.
He was talking to me, actually.
Wow. I would never nap while our world champion was speaking to us. I would never do such a thing. Now, when you don't have a title, I mean, that's a different story. But you are currently the world champion.
I apologize, El Vacant. You're very good at your job. I just happen to be a bit of a talky guy.
No, I just think it's funny because you cover your bases. You don't leave me a lot of room to be like, oh, well, what about X? Because you covered that already. But
I mean,
no, I was just gonna say he covered pretty well both potential people coming after him. I guess I'm gonna ask kind of something I mentioned earlier when LA and I were discussing it. Like, I feel like I feel like Blake feels like he has a lot to prove, and I think that man is full of rage and spite. Do you think that is enough in this industry to drive a man to the top?
Honestly, no, and I mean this with all due respect to Blake Bradley. You have to come into these situations with a clear head. Blake Bradley, nobody is going to deny he is absolutely one of the best in this business. There's a reason why he's consistently in this position. But I'm speaking from experience when I say that banging your head against the wall and getting angry about it is not going to yield the results that you want. When you run into that wall, you've got to take a breath, reassess, figure out a way around that wall. Because once you figured out the first time that you're not going through the wall, it ain't going to happen if you try 2, 3, 4 more times.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, but I'm trying to think, has Blake actually ever had a shot at this title?
Yes.
I know he's had contender matches before, but has he ever actually got a shot at the actual title?
Yes, he challenged the Immortal Griffith for the title sometime in the past year. Just give me a second. I'll find it.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. And it was in Griff's last reign. You're right.
And that is a very important distinction. He has not had that many title opportunities. He keeps falling short at the contenders match, and in my opinion, while Blake is absolutely fueled by a bit of some spite, I think that is there's a fine line between spite and motivation, and I think that not quite making it to the show is something that will spark a lot of motivation as well.
Blake Bradley challenged the Immortal Griffith at Graveyard Smash last year. So,
because I got to tell you, like, I mean, we all know your opinion and my opinion of the person, right? But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the wrestler and the match. And I hate to say it, I just feel like that's the more interesting match.
I can't disagree. I've made it clear I don't necessarily want to face Killa Neptune for the World Championship. I think that it's bad for Killa. And Blake absolutely deserves his day in the title match. That being said, Blake has a tendency to choke when it's important, and I don't want to see that. If he makes it to this pay-per-view, I don't want any excuses. I don't want him to have a fall apart match. I want it to be a knockdown, drag out, as close as it gets matchup.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we find out tomorrow if, well, it could be a couple weeks. We're technically supposed to find out tomorrow who will be challenging you at Philadelphia Freedom. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss, Paragon, before we call it a night?
I mean, I could talk 10, 15 more minutes over time if you want me to, but no, I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you for your time. We will talk to you again soon, and I want to thank all of our guests tonight, all of our listeners. It was a great show. Went a little over, but that does tend to happen when we have as much to talk about. We shall return next week right here on the RAWF Radio Network at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. L Vacant, thank you again. You're doing well done, and we will see you next week as well. For L Vacant, I am Lord Amadeus. This has been RAWF After Hours. I'm going to take you out with Philadelphia Freedom theme song.
Lights flash, the fire ignites. We rise as warriors in the night. Steel hearts, unbreakable pride, marching on with freedom as our guide. Hear the roar of 1,000 strong. This is where the brave belong. The flag waves high above the flame. Every soul remembers the name. We stand for freedom, fight for the flame. In the land of glory we carve our name. No chains, no fear, just blood and might. We were born to battle, born to fight. We stand for freedom, the bold and true. This is our moment. Raise your fist, the time is now. Take the oath, make the vow. For the fallen, for the free, for every soul who dares to believe. We stand for freedom, not for that day. Heroes made in battle proud. No chains, no fear, just blood and might. We were born to battle, born to fight. We stand for freedom, proud and loud. We fight for justice, heads unbowed. Yeah, we stand for freedom. We stand for freedom.